What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining me today on another episode on this channel. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also the bell notification so you'll know when I put out future videos. And also, I will be going live tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you're on the live stream. We're going to be talking about this subject, about Terminator, also about more Star Wars stuff. But in today's episode, a new Star Wars movie, actually a trilogy, is in development concerning Knights of the Old Republic. This opens up quite a few questions. Is this Benioff and Weiss? Is it Rian Johnson? Is it something brand new? Let's dive into this right now and see. A movie based on Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the beloved video game first released in 2003, is currently being written by Leda Kalogridis. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correct. Of Avatar and Shutter Island. Good movies. For Lucasfilm, 3 sources close to the project told BuzzFeed News. The project should be a welcome news to the Star Wars fandom, who may be feeling beaten down after Solo's disappointing box office led Lucasfilm to reevaluate the franchise's ambitions and scale back the studio's release schedule. We already got into that before about too much Star Wars. I don't even need to talk about that again because it's ridiculous. Knights of the Old Republic, nicknamed KOTOR by its devotees, is a role-playing game about Jedi versus the Sith set nearly 4,000 years before the events of 1977's Star Wars: A New Hope. Fans have been long yearned for its rich story to be adapted to film. Now, Lucasfilm has had all of this stuff in line ever since they bought Star Wars from George Lucas, and this seems like it's the first time they're actually using some of the quote-unquote Legends material. I mean, fully adopting from it. That's what I'm saying. Now, this is a picture of a lady, Kalogridis, right here. I'm going to really struggle pronouncing her name, so forgive me right there. It says here she's close to finishing the first script of a potential KOTOR trilogy, according to 3 sources. She is the first woman writer of a Star Wars movie since The Empire Strikes Back in 1980, when Leah Brackett received a co-writing credit with Lawrence Kasdan. Star Wars has been criticized for hiring only white men to shepherd the world of Star Wars. Oh, there you go. They always have to bring identity politics into this. We all know George Lucas was pretty much in charge of everything Star Wars up until Disney bought it from him, starting with The Force Awakens. George Lucas wrote and directed all of the prequels himself. He wrote and directed the original Star Wars movie himself. George Lucas is a white guy. So I guess you can kind of blame him for that then. Even though he is the creator, he got with Lawrence Kasdan. I don't care if Lawrence Kasdan is a white guy. The man is an outstanding writer. That's all that matters. But anyway, I digress for that. Now, this should be something interesting. She was actually hired last year at the beginning of 2018, and she's already finished a script. So I'm thinking this is probably the case. I don't think this is Benioff and Weiss at all, because Kathleen Kennedy said that Benioff and Weiss, they were going to dive headfirst into Star Wars after Game of Thrones. So Game of Thrones is already done. So the way she was putting it, it seems like Benioff and Weiss haven't really started much at all. But yet she has already finished an entire script for a potential trilogy. So you're probably saying, all right, maybe it's going to happen after Benioff and Weiss's run in 2026. The thing is, if so, that movie wouldn't come out until 2028, 2029, 2030. Why would you hire someone 10 to 12 years before its scheduled release? That doesn't make any sense to me. So are we getting more Star Wars movies that are going to be coming out that we don't know about yet. I think Disney has been pretty firm on their Star Wars schedule. They're scaling back. Benioff and Weiss trilogy was starting in 2022. So this is kind of really coming out of left field. Now, I don't think this is the Rian Johnson trilogy at all either. Rian Johnson was supposed to be developing his own Star Wars trilogy, but he's been tied up with Knives Out. So this is definitely in the works right here. Benioff and Weiss is already confirmed. This is confirmed. This may be another clue that Rian Johnson is really never getting his Star Wars trilogy now, because they say she's almost done. So I don't really know where this is going to fall into at all, really. The rumor was that Benioff and Weiss were going to the Old Republic. Now, just remember the words, Old Republic, not necessarily Knights of the Old Republic. So this one by her is definitely Knights of the Old Republic. Now, technically, hers can be in the Old Republic, Benioff and Weiss can be in the Old Republic. So maybe she's going to tell a story based on the game, but maybe Benioff and Weiss are going to go into the very, very Old Republic, seeing the beginning of the Sith and the beginning of the Jedi. That's what I'm assuming. I don't think anybody really saw this coming. I mean, they kind of kept this under wraps for a whole year. Really didn't see this one coming right here. So I have no idea. She's just the writer of the script. She's not even the main showrunner, it seems. So I don't know exactly who is calling the shots on this at all. So this really does leave me with a lot more questions than answers. Disney has already released their entire schedule, and there's no Star Wars that's supposed to come out besides Benioff and Weiss up until 2026 after The Rise of Skywalker. Now, could this be on Disney Plus? I highly doubt that, because Bob Iger says if they're going to make Star Wars movies, it's going to come out in a movie theater. So you're only going to get stuff like The Mandalorian, Cassian Andor. Those kind of things will be on Disney Plus. I don't think a full-fledged movie is going to be on there. So maybe, I mean, it's possible that they could actually just be planning long-term, keeping these scripts all the way out. But it just seems very, very unusual to have a script pretty much done when you're not going to release the movie a good 10 to 12 years from now. I mean, if you guys disagree with me on that, let me know that in the comments. I mean, this does sound very, very good. That the story that she's coming out with a Knights of the Old Republic script. I never played the video game, so I really don't know much about that. But based on the way Disney has done things with Star Wars, I'm assuming it's just going to be loosely based on the video game. That's my assumption on it right there, because we'll just have to really see about that. I mean, if you guys have played Knights of the Old Republic back in 2003, let me know that in the comments. Did you like the game? Let me know about that. But Benioff and Weiss, it almost sounds like if they're going to go Old Republic, they probably should be working hand in hand with her, if you ask me. But Kathleen Kennedy said that they've been in conversations with Rian Johnson. So what are they trying to do? Are they trying to create like this MCU world in the Star Wars world? Do you guys think that's going to happen? You know, kind of like having the Iron Man movies here, then you have your Spider-Man movies here, your Doctor Strange movies here, and then they come together for one huge project, like the Avengers. I wonder if they're going to do something like that with Star Wars. Is that the future of Star Wars? I think that's a bit too risky for Star Wars right now, because Star Wars has really been on the decline, and the Avengers movies, you know, they didn't come out until the MCU was on the rise, even though they kind of had it, I guess, planned it out all the way. But Star Wars is in a much different place than it was back when George Lucas was running the show. So I really don't know what to make of this. This sounds good. Knights of the Old Republic. mean, sign me up for that. I would love to see like Sith Wars and things like that. The Sith are more than just a rule of two. There's probably hundreds of Sith. The Jedi Council and the Jedi as a whole are fighting the Sith. The Sith are fighting each other. I think that would be really, really cool to see on screen. So, guys, what do you think of this? Knights of the Old Republic movie coming. Who is getting this movie? Who is the showrunner of this movie? There's so many questions and very, very little answers. So, guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.